it's me, Scottie B, here of Route 30 Podcast. I'm here with Mr. Two-Time. What's up, Mr. Two-Time?
The champ is here.
The champ is here, and we got proof of the two-time. As you see, once again, we
The
got
twins
We got Larry
and Larry Jr.
Shout out to them two right there. So if I ever wanted to feel like a champion, I just come rub them. You know what I mean? Like that. Like that. I feel the power.
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. And of course, we always want to make sure that you know, give back, inspire, sacrifice. We got the merch. As you can see, love conquers. All right, Route30Consultant.com. Make sure you get your merch here. The shorts, everything. Tell them about your shirt.
In the proper order.
There we go.
Sacrifice.
In proper order.
Give back.
What else?
And what are we going to talk about today?
Oh, that's a good one. We're going to talk about inspiration.
Yes,
inspiring
sir.
Others. That's one of the most, actually, inspiration is one of the most powerful forces in life.
But before we get into that, though.
Before
we get into that.
Go ahead.
Make sure y'all go get that merch. It's going to be right there. Route30Consulting.com, right there.
Feel like a champion. Champion my, matter of fact, we're going to keep this going. What did Dion teach us?
Look good.
You look good.
Feel good.
You feel good.
You play good.
And then what?
They pay good.
Right.
And if you're looking for more Route 30, look right there. Instagram _Route 30. YouTube. Route 30 Podcast on YouTube. The link, it's all right there.
Right. Now back to what I was saying. Inspiration can push you to be something much, much bigger than yourself. All right. It can push you to limits that you didn't even know that you had. Just to be, inspired by people that reach a certain level. Mm-hmm. All right. And I definitely want to know, like, what do you think of when you hear the word inspiration?
When I think of inspiration, I think of someone putting that inner drive in, like someone like inspiring you to want to do something like that you might not normally want to do. Okay. So let's say you inspire me to want to be great. I might want to be good, but say you put that inner drive, that idea of like, you know what, I can be more. And that's when I think of inspiration, you put in someone's head the fact that, hey, you can do more, that you can achieve.
You can. And I'm going to add on that. I would say inspiration is kind of lighting a fire.
Yes, that's exactly right, bro.
Even after the moment has passed.
Yes.
You see somebody achieve doing something, anything like that. You get this inner drive and inner fire in you.
It's internal, though. When I think of inspiration, it's something that fire is lit internally, mm-hmm. and it's showed by the actions that therefore, you bring forth. Okay, perfect. Now, an inspiration can come from many, many different places. Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
It can come from others. It can come from your own failures. I done failed many times. There's a famous Michael Jordan quote. That's why he succeeds, right? Because he's failed many times. So you can get inspiration from your own failures, from others. You can get inspiration from the success of those. You can get inspiration from wanting to be better for your family. You can get inspiration from plenty different places, right?
Yep.
Now, can you remember the back in life, kind of the first time or the first couple times when you're younger that you felt, hey, there's this fire inside and I feel inspired?
Yeah, so there's different parts of life where I was inspired. Mm-hmm. But we're going to talk about sports right now. And so for sport, my uncles were the first to inspire me.
Okay.
They were the first people who I competed against, my uncles and my cousins, my older cousins. When I started being able to compete with them and actually be real competition towards them, and quite frankly, once I was able to beat them athletically and physically, I knew that I was good. But they inspired me to keep pushing. Like, they always would be like, it's all right, man, you can't win today, but one day you'll get there. One day, that one day used to inspire me and motivate me so much, because I got tired of hearing it, first of all. One day, you'll be all right. One day you'll be able to beat me. Maybe one day, not today though. Man, that inspired me so much. Same with my big cousins, man. Like, I'll play against them. Shout out to my big cousin Dan, my big cousin Donnell, my big cousin Nate. Man, bro, I could never beat them. My big cousin Travis, Marcus, I could never really beat them until I got to
family.
a certain level. Yeah, big, huge family. I could never beat them until I got to a certain level, but they inspired me though because the fact, I didn't have like a blood brother, so they were like my brother. So the fact that they, every time I wanted to play ball, they always said, yeah, you know me, I wanted to play ball a lot.
All the time.
Anytime, football, basketball, baseball, box, fight, whatever. And so they were always like, yeah, come on, let's go. And so that inspired me to want to be great, just competing against my family. And then, you had those professionals that inspired me, bro. Mike Jordan. I want to be like Mike. Pow. Mike Jordan, Deion Sanders, prime time. Ken Griffey Jr.
Big time.
It was a lot, Penny Hardaway, Lil Penny. That's Tyra Banks, boo. Like, it was a lot of inspiration going on, bro. Sure. So, yeah, it was plenty of people that inspired me, bro. What about you?
Me? So, I'm going to go way back. So, me and this outgoing personality, I like to sing, dance. I was doing that ever since a youngin'. So, I would say my first inspiration had to be Michael Jackson.
Woo!
It had to be Michael Jackson.
Hey,
I remember being 3-4 years old, and I used to watch a tape over and over.
I agree. He was one of my inspirations too.
Moonwalker over and over, singing,
cut
dancing,
the shirt,
everything.
Ah!
Shout out to that. But then again, I had this inspiration where all I did was watch Jean-Claude Van Damme, and I wanted to beat people up. You know what I'm saying? Of course, later on came the Power Rangers. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be the White
Ranger. Yes, sir. Shout out to Tommy.
The Green Ranger. He started playing his flute.
Dun, dun,
inspiration.
dun, dun, dun,
Time out. You
dun.
got music and fighting? Tommy.
Yes,
playing
sir.
the flute and then beating somebody up. So I'll say my first earliest, and I'm gonna get to a more serious one, was Michael Jackson. Even though it's serious. And then we got Tommy. But then you got how we come to the sports aspect. And like, I don't have an older brother, so at that time growing up when I was younger, it was just me. But then I had my father. You and I both had our fathers. That's a big blessing. But I had my father as far as when it came to sports. I seen, I wanted to be like that. I wanted to be able to play. I wanted to be able to shoot like that. How does he do that? And I'm gonna give a big shout out to him because he brought me everywhere with him. 6, 7 years old, he brought me to the gym so I could watch. He brought me to the gym so I can play. So as far as being inspired, I got to watch him do his thing, and I made it to a good place in life playing ball, and it started with that. So I say
shout out to our dads, bro. Because obviously my dad is my biggest inspiration too.
Yeah.
But cats ain't about trying to cry on the microphone, bro. Cause
we can cry. We
know
want to evoke some emotion. We can cry.
Yeah, for sure. Pops is definitely the biggest inspiration in my life, for sure. But I'm gonna keep it sport. I like that Michael Jackson though, bro.
Michael Jackson was a good one.
He was he was an inspiration to me too.
Exactly.
Bro. Oh my goodness. MJ, I still know how to do all the dances. Be there.
Oh, you do? I thought I was a dancer.
No one wants to be the feeling. Bro, I know Thriller and all that, bro. Oh my goodness.
Do you?
Know how to moonwalk?
We gonna go. Oh,
I know how to tick when Michael Jackson used to tick and do all. Bro, I know how to do all that.
You never showed me this side.
Yeah, bro. Yes, sir. Yes,
I was a dancer.
Man, listen. If you know anybody in my family, ask them who my two favorite artists / entertainers. They gonna tell you Michael Jackson and Michael Jordan. I'm telling you, bro. I know everything about Michael Jackson, bro.
All right, perfect. Me too.
For sure.
Yeah, we gonna have a
have a dance
Michael
off?
Jackson episode.
Oh.
Time out. Time out. We can talk about the school dances, and we got people here in this room right now that remember me taking over school dances in a circle. That person might be off camera, but I know he remember the big circle around me dancing.
Okay.
And that's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, I've taken over skating rinks, brother.
So you had skate help. That's okay.
No. The skating rink turned into a dance floor at a certain. Yeah, don't act like you don't remember back in the day. Now, come on now.
Yeah. Shout out to. But they had one in
Start.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Really do it.
This is not a game.
This is not. Can I pass it?
Hey, pass it.
There you go.
Oh, back pass
it
you.
back.
Hey, look.
Let me go back. That's perfect. But now that we got that, we can speak about those. Now, of course, we had our fathers. We didn't get to meet Michael. I didn't get to meet Michael or any of the. I didn't get to meet Tommy. But was there something early in life, your cousins, your father, was there someone who did or said something to you that kind of changed the way you saw yourself or changed the way you saw your future?
Well, I'll say that my dad always told me I was special, bro.
Okay.
He always told me that. And I was crazy enough to believe it. Mm-hmm. You know, and I used to ask him, I said, how am I special? Why do you think I'm special? And he was like, I don't know how you're special. He said, but you are special. You're not like everybody else. He said, I can't sit here and tell you, you know, how in particular you're special. He said, but you're a special kid. You're a different kid. And I believed him. And I always, you remember how I used to be, you know, I want to go to the NBA, bro.
Actually, word though. So I mean, he saw it. So
yeah.
Okay, you think it's?
I mean, you tell me because you was my friend from the outside looking in.
Right. Yeah, you always had a different thought. I don't say a different thought process, but you had a demeanor about you that was older than we were. Meaning, I was still playful. I was still a kid. You were too, but you always had this seriousness about you that everybody else even talked about. So it's like Pops, meaning yours, could have said you're special, and then you went with that, and then you started to be it. You started to act like it. So whether you were special or not, he instilled that in you,
yes,
and you
sir.
started to be that way.
I started to believe. I believed it, bro.
And then that comes into this part where, you know, everyone around me, you, me, everyone speaks about my confidence. So of course my father was big on that, because I would say there was standards set of I shouldn't be below a certain thing. Like, nah, this is how we do things.
Yes.
We are great at this. And then we had my mother, who I always tell this story, up until she always said, this is my $1 trillion package deal. I ain't never heard of $1 trillion, but my mother used to always say, no, this is my $1 trillion package deal. He's going to do a lot for us. So then that instilled in me this confidence, like, oh, then maybe I can do anything. So that inspired me to have this big mindset with everything, where I just don't think small. It doesn't make sense to me. And people will give me, you know, ideas, and my mind instantly goes into the biggest part of it. Even with this podcast, you know.
We're going to have the biggest podcast in the world, bro.
We're thinking big. I'm thinking everything that we can do with it. So I would, you know, shout out to, you know, parents. Parents are very, very important. So shout out to my dad making sure my standard was very high. And then shout out to my mom always making me believe that I'm supposed to make $1 trillion for her. So,
absolutely. Shout out to Mom Dukes.
I'm coming for you. I need to get to $1 trillion. Don't know how I'm going to do it. We're going to do it.
Yeah.
Now, outside of that, who we speak about? Michael Jordan, right? We spoke about Penny, right?
Whew.
We know my favorite player. And don't nobody know I'm Kobe. Everything.
Kobe Bean Bryant.
I'm Kobe everything. I never got the chance to meet him. I'm also, despite all his antics, I love people who are obsessed and have a discipline and have a genius about them. So we got Kanye, and then we got Kobe. Kanye, just a big inspiration. It's just, I love what he does. I love his confidence. I love that he believes in himself. But that leads me to ask you this. Have you ever met, you know, out of all your inspirations outside of family, someone, a big figure? Have you ever met one of your inspirations and got some game or spoke to him?
Well, yes. I've been fortunate enough, you know, the game of basketball has blessed me and taken me to places I never thought I would be. And during the draft process, bro,
talk to me.
I was able to work out for a team in Charlotte that was owned by my basketball inspiration.
There we go. Good word.
Great word, right? Mm-hmm. I was able to meet the man, Michael Jordan, bro.
Right.
By the way,
Michael Jordan got shoes. Does he got shoes?
Listen. Let me tell y'all something. Tell it to me. That workout, whoever was in that workout was getting destroyed.
Good.
Just for simple fact that MJ was in the workout. He was watching. Let me tell y'all something, bro. It's one shoe that summarizes my childhood that inspired me to make it to the NBA.
Right. Hey, don't nobody know, 5th grade, he showed up to practice on the court with
these right here. These right here, this is the #1 shoe in the world. Argue with your mom, argue with somebody else. Don't come arguing with me. This is the best shoe ever created, right here. The Concord 11s, bro.
Look at that pad.
Look at that. This is brand new. Hey, be careful. Hey,
first of all, we are at an age. Yeah, my bad.
Be careful,
my
brother.
My bad. I'm gonna have to clean them. You know.
Hey, man, listen.
We are at an age where I remember when they first came out. I remember being in first grade. Was it 96 maybe? I forget. I remember showing up to school with the Concords on.
These right here, my brother. You wear them in the game, you wear them to school, and then you put your suit on, and you can wear them with your tuxedo. Trust me, I done wore them in all facets of life.
I'm talking from the court to court.
Hey, what Kanye say? You can't tell me nothing when you wear these. These are the biggest inspiration in sports for me as far as when it comes to swagger, when it comes to the shoe, when it comes to the game. These right here, my brother.
Yeah. Well, well, Mike, Mike is yours. I know Mike is great, but I'm Team Kobe. Can I?
Well, he's the teacher. Why don't you bring out the student?
This is Kobe. This is Kobe. This is Kobe.
Kobe Bean. Hey, man.
This is the paper. The paper's still. We don't. This is Kobe.
This is brand new.
R.I.P. to my. Wait, we got more.
Bro. Speaking of Kobe. In the 90s, when I was coming up a little kid, before he went to Nike, the Crazy 8s, bro.
I'm inspired.
Inspiration right here, bro. Never worn, bro. The Crazy 8s, y'all. The 8. Zoom, cameraman, zoom in on that. Let them. This
Baby
is
Fro Kobe's.
The Fro Kobe. These right here, man. This is one of the reasons that made me fall in love with the game. The Concords, the Crazy 8s. Kobe with the fro, bruh. Kobe with the, and then when he cut his hair in the dunk contest and, bro, listen,
flex
bruh.
on him when he went between the legs. Back then, going between the legs was actually a big deal. I know people do it in games now, but back then it was a big deal to us.
The Crazy 8s are crazy. This is crazy work right here.
Well, wait a minute. Well, yes, we want to continue with that. But I think there's one thing that may supersede that, something that really, I know they belong to you, but can I show them something else? Can I?
Oh, we got a lot to show them today.
Can I? You want me to do it now? Can I show them something else?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay.
Not yet. We're still in the 90s right now.
We're in the 90s?
So listen.
Yeah, we're going to
it's one more major inspiration that we ain't.
Tell them about.
We ain't talking about. Sometimes, so people like quarters, people like dimes and all that, but some of us like them 1 cent.
1 cent.
Some of them like, what's his name? Penny.
Yeah, even though his grandmother was saying pretty.
Hey.
Y'all know how Glorilla talks from Memphis?
Bro, listen.
He pretty.
Inspiration, bro. The foams, bro. Penny Hardaway in the 90s, bro.
Shout out to Perny.
Shout out to, bro, that logo right there. The commercials with Little Penny. That's Tyra Banks, boo. Hey, man. That was my inspiration growing up, man.
Yeah, Penny was me.
Not only did they have the game, but the swag to go along with it, bro. The foam posits, brother. But go ahead, you can touch these. Now.
Yeah, these Nike.
Crazy.
Here at the Route 30 podcast, we love the foams. We love the coppers, the eggplants. Don't know if anybody were to see this. 11 and a half. We like the Royals. Bibby, if you're watching, I know you're Team Jordan, but you were the first to kind of bring out the Royal foam. So 11 and a halves laying around. I'm not picky. Beggars can't be choosers, but this is where it's
that inspired us a lot, bro. As kids, the
at.
shoe game in the 90s,
another
bro.
Shout out. I know it don't matter, but we on the podcast. Shout out to Wale. Why? Because I don't know. This is what they used to wear in the DMV big time, and I should see him with his foams on.
He definitely always had the foams on.
So I just want to say, any colorway, it don't matter. The all blacks, the white with the blacks, it really don't matter. The foams are always doing their thing. So I'll give you back those.
Appreciate that,
brother.
But yeah, that's what got me going on my sports journey, bro. Was the Jordans, the Pennies, the Crazy 8s. That's what got that fire in me. Like, bro, I got to get my game right. And then the fact that Pops didn't always buy them for me. He told me my game wasn't that good. He said you can get some when your game.
Some more work.
He said you got to put some more work. Your game ain't that good. He said when your game get that good, then you could get some.
But that was motivation.
That was motivation. When I became a pro, I had every pair of Jordans that ever existed.
There we go. You see, so kids, you can go from wanting it to actually.
Hey, Pops, you inspired me like no other, and you know this.
Right. Now I was a little different. Shout out to my. Shout out to my mom.
Oh, you had them, boy. Your shoe game.
And I kind of got.
Your shoe game was elite.
But, they were spoiled kids, but shout out to them. Hey.
You were well taken care of, my brother.
I was, but that's good. Parents are supposed to. That's what you and we were striving to make sure we could take care of our families too. Now, we can talk about our inspirations. I know for a fact what I loved about each, Kobe, Kanye, but it's the discipline. It's the they kept achieving. There was no complacency. There was no content. What do you think as far as some other things that could make us, me and you, or not could make, what does make you and myself and anyone else inspiring to others? What are some things,
The inner drive to want to be the best. People don't understand about what it means to want to be the best. Yeah. Everyone says, I want to be good. I want to be good. I hope you're good. I want to be good. I hope you're... But to be the best, Michael Jordan was the best. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Was the best. Penny Hardaway walked in as a rookie and was first team All-NBA. That's wild. You know what I mean? Like, they were the best guards in the league at the time.
Michael Jackson has the highest.
Michael Jackson, I'm about to say Michael Jackson is the
nobody above.
He's the greatest artist to walk this earth. You understand? The best. And so that's what they did. They inspired me to actually believe that I could be the best. Remember we was talking earlier when we was talking about, if you go talk to a team, you ask them, hey, who's the best shooter? Who's the best scorer? Who's the best passer? Who's the best defender? What did I tell you? If somebody would have asked us that on the team,
you would have raised your hand every time.
Who the best shooter? Who the best scorer?
I would have looked at him every time.
Who the best defender? Who the toughest? Anything competition, bro. So they inspired me.
I would have gave him defender. Toughest? Nah, we gonna have to match on that. Shooter.
Man, I'm willing to find out. Anybody think they tougher than me? We could.
I'm talking about one of the team, shooter.
Yeah, hey, shooter. Man, listen.
Who the best ball handler? What if they asked that?
Me? I was gonna say,
but that's because that's you. But the answer was me.
Man, you had like flashy handle, but who was one dribble and I'm by everybody? Who was that? Let me hear you say that.
I will give you
Who
that.
never was stripped? Nobody was taking no cookies, none of that.
Playing games. You wasn't about it.
You was definitely hot saucing it.
Yeah.
You was definitely saucing it for sure. And you had a lot of sauce for sure.
You was one dribble from the 3-point line
Zoom
to the
by.
basket. Yeah.
Zoom by.
Yeah, I wanted them to turn in circles. So yeah, you're right.
But I was inspired by Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, they were the best, and I always thought that I could be the absolute best. I didn't want to just be good. When I walked in the gym, I wanted the respect to be like, oh no, that's the best kid in the gym. That's the best player in the league. That's the best. That's how they inspire me, and they still continue to inspire me to the day, bro. That's what I saw. When I looked at Michael Jordan, looked at him, you can sum it up, he's the best. When I looked at Michael Jackson, sum it up, he's the best.
So you said the word sum it up. So to sum it up, what we love about those who inspire us is their drive, their dedication to being the best.
Their commitment to their craft.
Their commitment. And we know all that took what?
Sacrifice.
Exactly. So, that's going to be a big deal with us, sacrifice and hard work to be the best. And your mindset.
I'm about to say that, bro. The mental.
And I'm going to talk about all the time is your mindset. You can, back in grade school, you see all these signs. If you believe, you can achieve.
Yes.
Good, better, better. No, that's really the truth. If you believe that you can do something and you figure out how to work toward it and you believe and say it every single day,
yes,
you can. Because we spoke about Michael Jackson. Now, I'm a historian. I watch Michael everything. Before Michael Jackson had the Off the Wall album, right? He thought it was great because it was great.
I'm about to say it was amazing.
Right. He thought he should have gotten more awards, more notoriety for it. So what he did was he told himself, I'm gonna make the greatest and the highest selling album ever. And you know what Michael did? He got in the mirror every single day and he said over and over to himself, highest selling record ever.
And he made Thriller.
Highest selling record ever. He said it every single day and went and put in the time.
Yes.
And guess what? Still to this day, what is the highest selling record ever?
Album.
Right.
And single.
All that.
Thriller.
All right. So if that doesn't, I had this thought in my mind a while ago. You can think, it don't matter what you think, it's the truth. So why not think the big things? Why not think the positive? Why not think you can and see what that does for you?
Yes.
Because I don't want to think mediocre. No offense to people. I just don't want to because that's just what I'm going to get. And once I started seeing stories from others, Michael Jackson, hey, I'm going to have the highest selling and I'm going to go put in the work. And he did. We can talk about Michael Jordan. We can talk about Kobe. We can talk about anybody, knowing Kobe's my favorite. But that's exactly what it is. And it's all in your mental.
You're right. And speaking of that, your mental, there's another guy that inspired me.
Go ahead.
Later on in my life, he's from the same state we're from, bro.
Oh, talk to us about it.
And
which is what? Where we from?
We from Ohio, bro.
Ohio
Ohio.
Players.
There was a brother that inspired me so much. And then it so happened we happened to be in the same generation. And what's crazy, we lived in the same city, didn't know each other yet. And then it got even crazier, bro.
Talk to me.
We ended up playing on the same team. This brother by the name of LeBron. LeBron James.
It's the king.
Bro. Inspiration, bro.
You know what? Didn't he help you do something?
Hey, bro, listen. That's authentic signature, authentic game-worn playoff shoe, bro.
Yeah. It smell like LeBron.
Hey, bro.
It smell like a king.
LeBron, inspiration from Ohio. Somebody from Ohio can make it big like that, bro. Shout out to LeBron. Bro, we was in Cleveland. He was doing his thing at Cleveland, the Cavaliers. I was doing my thing down in Cleveland State, 40, 20, all type of crazy stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah, look that up.
And then we ended up being on the same team.
Same team.
Bro, I've been watching this dude for years since,
right.
And I'm like, I get to play on the same team as LeBron. So shout out to LeBron, bro. You, later on, once I became, high school, college, you was a big inspiration. Just for the simple fact, you was from Ohio, bro.
Right.
And you're still sustaining that greatness, brother. Yeah. So shout out to LeBron, bro.
That for sure. But you know what? I want to get a little more in depth, maybe. Just a little bit more. He's arguably, no, not arguably. He is one of the greatest to ever pick up the basketball. But we're talking about inspiration. Mm-hmm. Can you had a front row seat that many people never have. Can you talk about, or maybe just tell us something about what you saw from him on his day-to-day that inspired from, all those years? Because we got Larry and Larry Jr.
For sure. And we do not get Larry and Larry Jr. without LeBron. It don't happen. It doesn't happen without LeBron. So, yeah, his consistency, bro. Mm-hmm. He didn't just come in 2-3 hours before practice one time or two times. It was every day. He was at practice 7 or 8 o'clock for 11 o'clock practice, bro, or 10 o'clock practice. He was always 2-3 hours early before practice. Ride his bike to practice, bro. He'll ride his 10-speed to practice. But the biggest thing that he taught me that has helped me sustain in my career, he taught me how to never get out of shape. Mm-hmm. He works out year-round. Now, obviously, the level in which he works out is different, but he always works out so that his body is always in shape, so that when he has to rev it up to get ready for the season, you don't have no tweaks. You don't have no major injuries. And a lot of guys get injured while they revving up. Why? Because they're taking 3-4 weeks off of nothing. Partying, drinking, smoke, whatever they do, because they're in their off season. Mm-hmm. LeBron and Ray Allen was two of the most disciplined individuals when it came to taking care of their body, even in the off season.
I love that word.
And I took that from them, bro. And I was like, you know what? There is no off season. Yeah, maybe I'm not running, doing the same type of sprint work that I would be doing closer to the season, but I'm always in cardio condition. At any time I can play basketball during the year. There's no time where it's like, whoo, I can't get out there and play. Nah, I keep my cardio right where it need to be. I keep my core right where it need to be. I work out and I lift weights. I always stay in some sort of professional fitness year round. And then when it gets close to the season, then I can rev it up. And, maybe I can change, from doing bike workouts and rowing workouts and maybe versi climbing workouts or jump rope workouts. The closer I get to the season, now I can start doing sprints on the hardwood and around the track, but my legs, my calves, my muscles have been engaged the whole time at a high level. So when I get out there and sprint, I'm less likely to pull a hamstring.
For sure.
I'm keeping my core and everything tight. So my back, that monkey ain't on my back when when I'm running on the track. And so that's the biggest thing he taught me. And that was a real inspiration, like how to stay in shape. That's why that's why he in year 20 doing what he doing. That's why I'm in year 14 still doing what I'm doing.
Right. Did I teach you a little bit about staying in shape?
I mean, you always thought you was a bodybuilder, Buff Bagwell over
really?
there.
Buff Bagwell. Yeah. Matter of fact,
I think you was born that way though. I think you was born that way. You still inspire me, brother.
Really?
But you was born that way.
Okay, yeah, I did kind of come out the womb, kind of
like Mighty Mouse, bro.
Yeah, why I gotta be a mouse? Yeah, you're right. Shout out to Damon Stoudemire.
Shout out to Dame Stoudemire.
Shout out to Damon
Elite.
I got to college. I walked inside the locker room. My coach was playing Damon Stoudemire highlights.
Inspiration,
Talking
bro.
about, that's what you. As a matter of fact, good, perfect. Talking about
Inspiration.
that's what you want to be. As a matter of fact, that is. Shout out to Mighty Mouse. Damon.
Yes.
I actually used to want to get that tattoo. He had the little mouse with the basketball. I switched it up. But yeah, shout out to Damon Stoudemire. I saw him one time in Houston. I think he used to coach for Memphis. But I walked in the gym one time in Houston and somebody thought I was him, and that was one of the greatest compliments.
That's
So
dope.
I was like, oh, you thought
He let me use his gym at Georgia Tech actually this past summer. So I appreciate. Shout out to.
Yeah, Damon, we're gonna get you on the podcast. We're gonna talk to you.
For sure.
Shout out to you. But that brings me back to this. When did you first figure out, because we got our 3 pillars and we want to inspire. We want everybody out there to inspire. When did you figure out that you could have been an inspiration to maybe a young fan or just kids or anybody actually? Because it could have been kids. It could have been when you were younger and others. Because really, okay, let me give my tidbit. You were an inspiration to us when we were younger. You had this attitude of just, I'm going to go get it. And it made all of us around you even tougher and even more confident that we can go get it too. Because we had you. So
I think part of that was my peers responded to me. That's kind of when I knew I was like, you know what? I can inspire. Like, they look up to me. And I like having that responsibility of like being the quarterback, being the point guard, playing, shortstop and center field. We play center field. That's like the quarterback of the outfield. And so that, playing those different sports and having a sense of responsibility and seeing that my peers actually look to me, I embraced that, bro. The fact that I could inspire somebody else, I embraced that. And I was like, you know what? If I can do this for the long term and get the results that I was getting, we won a lot. Mm-hmm. I was like, man, it's nothing like inspiration. Then I started to realize inspiration is free. Yeah. You don't have to pay me, or I don't have to pay you to be inspired. Michael Jordan ain't never gave me nothing. But he inspired me to be the best, bro. Mm-hmm. Michael Jackson never met him. He inspired me to be the best. Some people have never met you, never met me. They're watching this podcast, but guess what? They're going to leave inspired. They should. Because there's something that we're going to say or that we've already said that they can relate to. And so that's what it was to me growing up. I was like, you know what? My peers, they look up to me. Mm-hmm. And I noticed it. I was like, you know what? I can be a real inspiration.
Yeah, for sure. And you did the right thing, because I can remember growing up and kids used to follow me and do what I did. Just because I was confident and I was just out there and I did whatever. But I didn't always do the right things. They followed me to throw rocks at cars. Y'all shouldn't have did that. I shouldn't have did that. But they followed me. You know what I mean? But as I gotten older and I started to be a leader on the basketball court, leader in the classroom, things that actually came easy to me, I figured out maybe I want to lead people to do the right thing. And you know, I do have a son now. He's 9, and I tell him, hey, they follow you. You're a leader. I need you to do the right things.
For sure.
You know, leaders don't do that. We have standards.
Absolutely.
So I try to keep him on a certain line as far as, you know, inspiration too. And then once I got a little older, as far as inspiring, I saw that there were gifts that I have, gifts that you have, gifts that people wish. There were people that I may have looked up to that have told me recently, hey, there's things that you do that I can't, and I really love that. And I really, you know, how do you do that? And I just love trying to kind of living my life and being an inspiration to them.
Now, your energy is definitely an inspiration to people because people wish they could be that outgoing, that confidence to be their authentic self. Not everybody feel like they can do that, you know. So you're definitely an inspiration when it comes to that. But as I was inspiring people, like how you said y'all used to look up to me on the team and stuff, y'all didn't know that other people was inspiring me. Like, so the things that I would do as an example for y'all, I saw Steve Wright do it.
Shout out to Steve.
Shout out to Steve, bro.
Yes,
he was
we all looked up to him.
elite. For all who don't know, you know, he was one of the best. At the time, he was the best player in the city of Dayton that we had ever seen.
Yeah.
You know, and then my teammate Daquan Cook came around, and that went to a whole nother level. But like, even Daquan, speaking of that, Steve Wright and Daquan was probably the biggest inspirations for high school basketball for me.
Yeah.
Watching them play, you know, Steve was not the biggest guy in the world, but like he will dunk on you, and he will shoot the ball from a mile away, and his 1-2 dribble crossover pull up was elite. And then Daquan took it to a whole nother level where we went to the same middle school and the same high school. I got to see what a one and done prospect looks like. Everyone, you know, you look on TV, oh, he went one and done, or he went straight out of high school, but you don't get to see that every day with your own eyes. And I got to see what that looked like. At 19 years old, he was drafted in the first round of the NBA. And if it wasn't for the rule, he probably would have went straight out of high school to the NBA. I got to play with that guy every day. We won championship together. And so that inspired me and showed me like, hey, wait, people from Dayton, people that we know, not that we heard of, that we actually saw. Steve went to college, Division I, dog. Daquan Cook went to Ohio State and then went straight to the NBA after 1 year. Oh, I can make it to the NBA. I can go D1 and I can make it to the NBA. So those two dudes inspired me a lot when it came to high school basketball, bro. He was a McDonald's All-American.
Right.
Dayton ain't had a McDonald's All-American since maybe like Dwight Henderson or something. That's crazy, bro. Like, so that was a big inspiration. Shout out to Daquan Cook. That's my dog. Around here, we call him Pooh. Shout out to Pooh.
Shout out to Pooh. Not to be confused with Derrick Rose, but shout out to Pooh. Now, we can speak about others.
Oh, man.
But the thing that I think is special about myself or yourself, or we have this self-motivation or this self, you know, we can inspire ourselves. Somebody asked me recently, like, what's your self-talk like? What do you say to yourself?
Ooh.
Trying to get some inspiration from me. And I had to tell them, you know what? I'm confident because I had a lot of wins in life. So I already feel like I can do everything. My self-talk is more, you know, inspiring myself to, hey, that's not the level that you are capable of. I do a lot of self-talk of, hey, you could do better than that. That's not how we live. You know what I mean? So as far as you go, what do you do to kind of motivate or inspire yourself if you don't have that outside source?
So there's a such thing as your why. Your why is going to determine how hard you go at something, how inspired you're going to be at something. And sometimes other people can't be your why. Like, for a long time, my why was, I want a scholarship. And then my why was, I want to graduate from college. Then my why was, I want to be an All-American. I want to be the best ever at Cleveland. I want to, you know, dominate college. I want to go to the NBA. Then my why became, I want to retire my dad. My why was, I want to, you know, pay off all my sister college debt so where she can live and start living her adult life debt free. And you know, my why was always, it was started off with me and then it went to somebody else. But at the end of the day, your why has to be yourself to some degree at all times. because it's you that's gonna have to put the work in. I was fortunate enough to be able to retire my pops, but at the end of the day, I had to put the work in every day, even when I didn't feel like it. And so I was like, man, I want to be able to do this for my dad. Man, I want to do this for my dad. But at the end of the day, I had to be like, you know what? You can do it. Push through. You got this. And my self-talk is, come on, Cole.
Right.
Come on, Cole.
Right.
Not today. No, the timer ain't on. Keep pushing, Cole. That's what I say. I say that a lot. Like, let's go, Cole. Come on. Pick them knees up. Let's go. Come on. Arc on that shot. Come on, Cole. Push through. And that's how that positive self-talk and that drive to be like, hey, you got to do it. Pops ain't gonna retire itself. You got to do it. You know what I mean? That house ain't gonna buy itself. You got to do it. Yeah. You know, you want to be able to, start your adult life, a certain type of way. Ain't nobody gonna do it for you. You got to do it. So that's what I tell myself to inspire myself. Like, hey, come on now. Ain't nobody gonna do it for you. Come on, Cole. Come on, Cole.
Exactly. Which is perfect. So everybody out there, remember that it's your why. Find a why, make it a big why,
and make sure that why includes you.
Right. Okay. I like that. Make sure it includes you. Now, did you feel any? Well, how did you handle the pressure of that, and also how do you handle always knowing that you're an inspiration to others? How do you navigate that?
Well, I never lived my life for other people. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. My why, make sure that you understand the difference. I live my life not for other people. It's just that I want to be able to help other people. That's like a driving force, because once you take care of yourself, it's like, all right, I'm taken care of. There's more to do. And so I live my life for me. Like I said, I can't help them if I'm not right. I can't help mom. I can't help dad. I can't help sis. I can't help you. If I'm broke down, if I ain't right, how can I help you? So I have to take care of me first to make sure that I can provide the service of helping somebody else. And so I always never forgot that. Always take care of me.
Yeah.
Take care of you first. Please. You can't help nobody if you broke down. So take care of you first. And what you will understand is, during my process of taking care of me, bro, I was inspiring people. Yeah. I was just being authentically me. Like you said, I was serious all the time. I always said, you said you want to go to college. I said, I want to go to the NBA. Right. I wasn't trying to inspire you.
And we were both right.
And we both was right.
Right.
Yeah.
We were both right.
But I wasn't really trying to inspire you. I was just authentically being myself. And as a result of that, you were inspired. And then I was like, man, I'm inspiring my teammates. Now I'm inspired because I want to keep that standard up. Mm-hmm. And so I think being authentically yourself, taking care of yourself, and then once you have yourself taken care of, then branching out, having that strong why of inspiration.
And that reminds me of a quote from somebody who's a humongous inspiration in life that you got to meet by way of LeBron James, and his name is Sean Carter, and he has for anybody who don't know, his name is Jay-Z. He has a line, how am I going to help the poor if I'm one of them? So I got rich and gave back. To me, that's a win-win, So when he says take care of you, what Jay did, he made sure he got to a certain level, and now he can pull others up. And that goes to one of our pillars, which is what? Give back.
Give back, bro.
Which is give perfect. Back. So he's an inspiration. He took care of him, and now he was able to pull others up and give back to them, which is perfect. But how do you feel like we can be an inspiration outside of sports? I know we keep talking about sports.
Right. There's more to life than sports, for sure.
Right. How can we? And for me, I'm always say, I do it by showing people how I live. I mean, discipline is such a big. I think you can overcome so much in life just by being consistent. Shout out to LeBron, and having discipline. Shout out to all them too. But how do you kind of hope to inspire people beyond the sports?
Well, I use sports as an avenue to help people outside of sports, because the things that happen in sports are a microcosm to life. And so I use a lot of parallels to sports in life. Example, in sport, how do you become good in sports? Well, you have to put the time in and practice. How can you be better in a relationship with your woman? You have to spend time with her.
Effort.
You have to study your playbook. Guess what you also have to do?
Listen.
You kings, you have to study your queen.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to study. You know, you want to be, there's different careers out there. You want to learn how to cut hair, or you want to be in cosmetology. Well, the same way I learned different angles of how to dribble and different touch shots around the basket, I put time into the craft. I studied it. I watched it. Well, if you want to be the best barber out there and the best cosmetologist out there, you need to practice, and you need to watch, and you need to study your craft. You know, for those who are students in school, there's no substitute for hard work. There's no substitute for hard work. And I'm here to inspire you, to let you know it's going to be uncomfortable, but you got to go through it anyway. Part of the inspiration is telling the truth, and part of the inspiration is someone going through it with you. Listen, I work out often. It don't feel good, but you got to do it anyway.
Feel good to me.
And so,
well, pause that. When I work out, not when you work out. When I work out, feel good to me.
yeah. So, you know, it's not going to always feel good, but guess what? You're not the only one going through it. And so that's the inspiration, bro. Just showing the parallels from sports to life. You know, you have to, that inner drive. When you're a parent and you're trying to feed your, you know, you have a son, that drives you. The same way I want to keep my scholarship at Cleveland State was driving me is the same, you know, that mental switch of I'll do anything to keep my scholarship, to keep these skills right so that coach can't replace me. Parallels to life. You'll do anything to make sure your son is provided for and have food on the table. You'll do anything to make sure he's clothed and he has shelter and he has confidence and things of that nature. And so sports is a parallel. And I think we can use sports to help inspire others in life. And that's what I do. I can't speak for you, but I believe that's what you do as well, because sports has helped me in life. I'm not a basketball player. I'm a man who plays basketball. Ooh. You know what I mean? Like, it's more to me, you know, you only can play the game for 2 hours. It's only a 2-hour game. You know what I mean? You only can work out for so long. You can't work out for so long. It's a 24-hour day, so there's more to the day than just that. So basketball is only part of my day, but the lessons I've learned from it helps me become a better man. And so that's my inspiration and how I inspire others.
Right. That's perfect. Now, over time, we spoke about early 90s, we got Michael Jackson, we got MJ. The other one, we got Penny, we got Kobe. I'm always bring up Kanye because that's my guy.
For sure.
Now, we are not hopefully, as you know, we are all evolving, you, me, everyone. What about today? I want to speak about some of our inspirations today.
Man.
Who do you think of? Because, of course, our fathers are always going to be our inspiration. Who's some of your inspirations today?
Man. Whew. Well, it's so easy for me to think of athletes first. Right. So,
well, me, I'm gonna just say I'm traveling. I'm traveling, and I saw one of mine in the airport, and we said what's up to each other yesterday.
Yes,
I threw my hand up. He threw his hand up. I said what's up, and I felt like that was a great moment for me. And the word is alignment.
Yes.
And you know about what I want to do with my life. I'm walking through the airport and I see E.T., Eric Thomas.
Shout out to E.T. You are an inspiration. Big bro, preacher. For sure.
I'm walking through the Detroit airport and I see him, and, you know, even from when I was younger, I really didn't stunt, you know, famous people or anyone that we met because I always looked at him and felt I can be that too. I'll give an example. You know, I live in North Carolina. It just so happens that J. Cole hoops at our gym. I seen him and I love J. Cole, but it was something about seeing him in front of me playing ball where I was like, I can be great too. And that's exactly what I did. I rebounded a couple shots and I left the gym because I felt, wait, I can feel your aura. I can be great too. So I left and try to figure out ways that I can be great. But I can say, as far as an inspiration right now, shout out to E.T., because I felt it when I saw him. I felt, you know, inside, and I threw my hand up, said what's up, and then my mind just started working. So as far as one of my inspirations, you know, Eric Thomas will be one of them. What you got?
It's funny you said Eric Thomas, because that made me think. I watch a lot of Inky Johnson, bro.
Yeah, Inky too. Yep.
Bro, I look at Inky Johnson sayings
His
every
demeanor
day.
reminds me of you, because when he talks about how, and I don't mean to cut you off, but he talks about when he was younger and he was like, no, I gotta make it. I gotta do this. My mom turned on her car lights so I can be outside putting in more work. It's like he knew it from a young age. I'm serious about this, and that reminds me of you. You knew I'm gonna do this, and I'm serious. So,
And he always, bro. One of the things that he said that I always resonate with, he was like, "You find out the character of a man not in comfort, but in discomfort. That's when you kind of find out who you are," and that always stuck with me because, anybody can enjoy things when stuff is good, but those uncomfortable moments in life, you'll find out, who you are. You'll find out a lot about yourself, and you can't lie. You can trick and lie to other people, but when you go through that discomfort, you can know if you're a coward. You will know if you a dog, where you gonna get through it. You will know if you are timid, or you will know if you fight or flight. I'm going, or I'm running. You would know that about yourself. And so I always remembered that. And then he also inspired me just for what happened to him. He was a big-time football player.
Yeah.
Don't be mistaken. He was a big-time football player, and then his life changed in one play. And so the visual of that always lets me know that I'm always one play away from, anything can happen. But yet, he's still who he is. He's not an NFL player like he was going to be, but he's still changing lives, which is NFL player, what they do, they change lives. So he's still doing that. He's still motivating people. He's still a dog. He just took that mentality and put it in a different section of his life. And so I respect that a lot about him. And he's someone that inspires me a lot.
For sure.
Yeah, Inky inspires me a lot. You know who else inspires me, bro? We said LeBron already for his, commitment, excellence, but Steph Curry inspires me too, bro.
Okay, for sure.
He went to a small school like me. He went to Davidson. He went to a mid-major. And he wear my number too, number 30. And he wasn't the biggest. He was a skinny kid. He didn't look like the chosen one growing up. You wouldn't have been like, oh yeah, that's the one that's gonna be the chosen one. The visual, which is the same for me. I was a skinny kid walking around dating. No one would have said, oh, that's gonna be a first round NBA draft pick. But his ability to get better, and then not just get better by small margins. His ability to get better, and then once he figured out the matrix, he became an MVP,
He changed the
all-time great level player. There was no time where people thought that you would ever mention Steph with LeBron or Kobe or KD. You just never would do that. But then after year 4, after the year 4, year 5, it's like, oh y'all, man, this dude is really good. Oh, he's an MVP. And then year 6, you're like, wait, no, hold up. This guy is different. Year 7, year 8, year 9, you're like, wait, he's one of the pantheons of the game. But he almost looked like a regular dude. And so I'm like, and he's in year 16, 17, still sustained greatness, bro. So I'm like, yo, I'm inspired by Steph Curry because...
And I want to put this out there. There's this thing where it's where people would know a music artist or somebody they like, where they're not as big, and then when they get this global, fame, you're like, man, I liked him when he was, when y'all didn't even know him. I'm gonna say this. I was in college playing ball. Steph was in the Elite Eight in Detroit. I got tickets and drove up there because I was a Steph fan while he was still in school. I thought Steph was gonna be Steph while he was wearing Nikes with ankle problems. For some reason, he is my second favorite player ever behind Kobe, but it was like that before he became.
I never believed
big
that he was
Steph.
going to be like this. I always thought he could shoot. But
right? Maybe it was my love just for him as a person and a player, but I kind of knew it. Now, did I know it would be this? Did I know Steph
people
was
say
gonna
he's
change
top
the
10.
game
Some people even
forever?
think he's top 5. Right? Bro, Steph is a pantheon of the game. I didn't see that. So Steph, you inspire me, bro. We're gonna have you on the Route 30 podcast because you're one of the ultimate number 30s out there.
But then just you represent everything just as a man. that we want to be able to put out there too. Not, even off the basketball court, even when it comes to family, even when it comes to, business, everything that you do is kind of what we want to put out there for others to be inspired by. This is a, inspire episode. So there's just who you are from top to bottom. That definitely is who we want to represent.
You know who else inspires me, bro? That now got my wheels spinning.
Because I got one more too, but go ahead.
Shaquille O'Neal, bro.
Big time. I love
Shaq inspires me, bro. Like
he's himself all the time.
But not only that,
you talk about
Shaq
give
is
back.
so, bro, the ultimate, bro. He's when it comes to sacrifice, give back and inspiring, bro. Big fella, man. Listen, first of all, he might be better in business as he was as a player. Like Shaq is so educated, bro. He's like, he touches all walks of life, man. And he don't take himself too serious. It's like, he was like, I want to learn how to do this. So guess what? I read a book and learned how to do this.
Yeah.
I want to do that, get in that field of life. He's in everything. He's in the general. He got 10 commercials running like at the same time. Like,
yeah, man, he the Snoop Dogg of sports.
Bruh, he owns everything.
Yeah.
His catalog is crazy.
Marilyn Monroe?
Bro, he owns a lot. He owns a lot of stuff, bro.
Shout out to Shaq for owning a woman.
But part of the reason why he's inspiring is not the fact that he owns those things. It's the fact that he took the time to learn the knowledge to do it. Because he didn't have to. He didn't need money. I mean, Shaq was a pantheon too. He's one of the most dominant players to ever play. So it's like he had plenty of money, but it wasn't about the money. It was about he wanted to educate himself and then help his family. Like, I watched one of his documentaries. So, he took care of his mom.
For sure.
He took care of his stepfather, who he always talks about, put that discipline in his life. But then he talks about how he raises his kids, how he tells them, like, hey, you don't have to be me. You don't have to. We already have an NBA player. If you want that, that's cool. But we need more doctors. We need more lawyers. We need, other walks of life to be special. And as long as you're doing that, I'll help facilitate that. That inspires me, bro. I tell that to kids all the time, bro. You don't have to be me. I don't have any kids, but I'm just saying the kids who I talk to, my little nieces, nephews, cousins, stuff like that, I'll be like, listen, you don't got to make it to the NBA. We got that in our family. Like, you can be something else. But if you want it, I can show you the blueprint. But you can be something else and be great. And Shaq is one of the ones that, like, really helps resonate with that. And then, of course, he's just so funny, bro. On TV, I watched him dunk on everybody and elbow people, and then you watch him joke on TV. It's like he's reinvented himself thousands and thousands of times. And, as I get closer to the end of my career, I got to reinvent myself, and he's someone that I can look to and be like, you know what? That's an example. I can reinvent myself. I can do that. Maybe I can think about that. Maybe I can do that. And that comes from watching Shaq, bro. Yeah. Shout out to Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaq,
can you dig it?
It's me at It's Me, Scottie B on Instagram. Hit me in my inbox. I need your help with something. I need your help. So thank you. I appreciate
he will
that.
reply too.
I hope you do.
He will reply
because I've already manifested it because I know who you are. And I want to add one more. So we've getting these guys, Steph, who has already, put himself where he is, and Shaq is Shaq. I mean, you just say one name is Shaq. But I want to speak about one other guy who shows me just by the way he acts, by the way he plays, by the way he speaks, by the way he carries himself, and it's more so a newer guy. He just won a Super Bowl this year. But shout out to Jalen Hurts.
Ooh, Mr. Poise.
He's an inspiration, the stoic manner, the confidence, the quiet confidence. But he gonna make sure he gonna bring out this is big to us. He gonna make sure he bring out a Bible verse to let you know why he thinks.
Yes.
And for anyone out there that may not be into the word or may not be into God, just if you can look at the way he carries himself, you can tell that he has that spirit in him. And then when it comes to how he plays and how he speaks about his teammates, you can tell that that's a leader, and that's exactly what can speak to you and I. But me for sure, as far as
he's so poised.
Yeah.
And when that negative talk be out there, you know what he do on the biggest stages? Sometimes you gotta pop out and show him. And he,
Certified boogeyman.
he the one that upped the score on him. Like, hey, he was going crazy in the Super Bowl. So shout out to Jay Hurts. True inspiration, bro, for sure. His poise, I like that. As a point guard, you know, we always got to be in control. Like, he seems like he's always under control.
Right.
There's a certain mentality, that Michael Jordan mentality, which later on was transferred through another player, which became the Mamba mentality.
Mamba mentality.
So before we end, I was fortunate enough, before Kobe passed away, talking about inspiration, Mamba mentality. I got a pair of his, you know, worn shoes, and he addressed to Norris from Kobe, number 24. Both of them.
To the Lion, Brian Scott. Well, I wish, but anyway.
Bro, shout out to the Mamba. And I appreciate this gift. You signed it for me. Mamba mentality. That was my inspiration. Sacrifice, give back, inspire.
Route 30. We are out.